Draw both knees in, and then for a moment here, I want you to try to wrap both forearms around your shin bones, almost holding your hands in the front of your shin bones. Holding your hands in the front of the shin bones. That's it. Good, and then you can find a little bit of movement if you'd like, side to side, maybe rocking a little bit, or if you're craving stillness, maybe just craving stillness in this first pose. So if you can start to hug the outer thighs in just a little bit, and there's an action of spinning the inner thighs in and towards one another. So see if you can really draw the shin bones together, start to draw the big toe mounds together to touch. That's it. And then keep just the right knee hugged in into the chest. Lengthen and straighten your left leg all the way flat along the ground. The heel will drop down. That's it. Good. And then take your right big toe, start to draw a circle with your right big toe. Really circulating the ankle this morning. Try to notice if the shoulders are lifted up and away from the mat. Maybe instead of grabbing the shin, you grab hold of the back of the thigh. That's it. And then from here, 10 times, circulate the right ankle. Really see if you can spread the toes from the big toe to the pinky toe edge of the foot. Really starting to feel the center of the foot. So feel the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot, really circulating all the way around. That's it. And then when you've come around 10 times on one side, switch it. So you're doing the opposite direction. So you can really spread so much so that you're really creating a little bit more space in between each toe. And then again, really connect from the big toe to the outer heel, pinky toe edge to the inner heel, finding an X in the center of your foot. And then after those 10 rounds, 5 times point your toe and then flex your toe. Point and flex. So as you do this, everybody, really start to notice, just simply observe. When I do this in the morning, sometimes I really just feel, oh wow, my shoulders are just feeling really tense. Even though you're noticing your foot, sometimes other things start to creep in, really just drawing more awareness. But as we draw more awareness, really try to let go of any judgment along with it. And then after those 5 rounds of pointing and flexing, find stillness. Switch out your legs. Lengthen, straighten your right leg. Start to hug your left knee in into the chest. Good. And then just start by drawing the hands around the shin bone or the back of the thigh. So starting in with a big toe, really drawing a big circle, circulating around. Notice maybe what side you start to circulate around in. Are you going clockwise? Are you moving with time? Or are you going counterclockwise? Moving away, moving into that more habitual pattern. Right now, we're really in this more habitual pattern where we're home, we're really observing our feelings or observing our emotions. And so can you move through that, really feeling yourself in your current circumstance? We want to be able to mediate well between both our feelings and how we begin to step out into the world. And so 10 times switch on the other side when you've circulated all the way around. And then maybe you've lost connection with that right foot. Can you keep that right foot nice and flexed, nice and engaged? That's it. And then 5 times point and flex, point and flex. Really good, everyone. Good. And then when you finish that second side, hug both knees into the chest for an Ananda Bala, happy baby pose. Draw your hands, everybody, around your shin bones just to start, and start to pull your knees apart. Try to get your knees almost so they're touching your inner armpit, That's it. And then try to get your shins nice and parallel. That's it. And then maybe start to keep your knees close to the outer part of your rib cage as you press the center of your feet up. So again, really feeling the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot as you press up through the center of the feet. But keep your knees bent in, everybody. That's it. And then stay in stillness or rock a little bit side to side, side to side, side to side. Take a moment to really observe if your tailbone is lifted. So you can drop the tailbone down towards the front of the mat, but keep the space through all 4 sides of the torso, the front, the back, the right, the left. That's it. And then from here, one more time, lengthen just your left leg out long, but I want you to keep the right knee in into that happy baby pose. It's almost like a half happy baby pose, an Eka Padayappanasana. Start to draw both hands around the sole of your right foot. And then really start to draw. And if you can't access the foot, you can access the shin, if that's a little bit more accessible to you. Start to draw and plug that right knee in into the upper part of the armpit. Maybe it goes towards the tricep. So you're finding that 90-degree angle from the heel to the knee, but you're keeping that intention of almost like a squat on your back. That's it. And then really start to draw your shoulders back as best as you can. Take one more full deep breath. Inhale. And then lengthen your right leg out. Start to draw the left knee in for that half happy baby pose. Eka, Pada, Ananda Bala. Good. So the left knee hugs in. Maybe you grab a hold of the sole of the foot. And it should be harder on one side than it is on the other. So give yourself a little bit of slack. Give yourself a little break if you're finding that in the body. Good. And then really try to get the shin parallel, almost like you're coming into a 90-degree bend into the knee. Good. Take one more full deep breath. Inhale. And then slowly exhale. Lengthen, extend the left leg nice and long. Good. Roll over onto your right side. Reach your right arm straight up and over your head. And then roll all the way onto your right side. That's it. And then come up to hands and knees, everybody. Come into cat-cow pose. Good. As you come into cat-cow, spread your hands evenly and well, and then start to find the measure. Most of you practice with me kind of on a regular basis. So when we measure up, we take out the guesswork, right? We're really building our foundation, building our technique, so that when we come into practice and we come into circumstances where we don't know what the path is or we don't know our circumstance, we take a little bit of the guesswork out, right? So take your fingertips, spin your middle fingers to point towards one another. So you're really measuring the distance from your collarbones to your shoulders to your wrists. Spin your middle fingers back to face forward, and then really press your hands down a little bit more into the ground. Lift your shoulders and lift your head away from the mat. As we start to shift our weight into cat-cow, see if you can shift your weight more into the thumb and into the first finger. That's the strongest part of your wrist. And then move from your pelvis. On an inhale, find your cow pose. Look forward, look out. Widen your collarbones. As you exhale, push the ground away around the spine. Really relax through the back of the head, the back of the neck. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to cow pose. Look forward, look out. That's it. Exhale to your cat pose. One more round. Inhale to cow. Look forward, look out. Really widen through your sternum. Exhale, press the hands down, round through the spine. That's it. Inhale, come back to your table pose, and then sit your hips back to your heels for child's pose. Take your big toe mounds together to touch today, and I want you to really try to get your knees, just like you did in that Ananda Bala happy baby pose, try to get your knees a little bit more in line with the sides of your rib cage. So that might mean your shins come a little bit more parallel. If you need a little bit more space, you can spread the toes away from one another rather than taking the variation of big toe mounds come together to touch. Rest your forehead down. And then really use this again to connect your hands down, but your feet are pressing back. So you're feeling the energy of pulling you forward, but also pressing you back, finding yourself in the center of both of those things. Take one more full breath. Inhale. Always come to child's pose when you need it. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a quick measurement of your down dog. Measurement of a down dog is into a plank pose. Measure out, just for a moment, your plank pose. And then send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Lift your heels up so that you can bend your knees as best as you can. Maybe try to get your chest pressing on top of your thighs. That means you have to bend your knees a little bit more. And then just for today, look towards your thumbs for this first one. Really get long through all 4 sides of your torso, the front, the back, the right, the left. Look back at your knees. Are your knees directly over the center of your feet? And then from here, really straighten your arms, but keep your tailbone lifted up, everybody. That's it. Take one more full deep breath. Inhale. And then exhale, drop back onto your shins. Come back into Virasana. So if you want support again for this, take support. And I see that some of you are practicing with family members. I love that we're doing this. I love that like all the Sheilins are together practicing. I love that. Take a block underneath your sits bones. That's it. So give yourself a little bit of space. If you reach out towards the sides of your mat and you're touching something, give yourself a little bit more space. That's it. Good. Reach your arms out nice and wide towards the sides. Good. And then from here, take your middle finger, just your full palm, point your fingertips down towards the ground. That's it. We're just going to go through some wrist stretches from here, and then turn your fingertips up. That's it. Do that one more time. So as you do this, try to keep your arms and elbows nice and straight, and then turn your middle fingers up. So we're going to do that 20 times, and it's going to get a little bit tricky, okay? So as we do this, point down and then point up. Good. For 2, 3, good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, only halfway, 11, 12, 13, good, 14, you'll be ready to hunt eggs right later, 15, my kids are dying, I haven't let them hunt their Easter eggs yet, they have to do it after this and they're just like aching. That's 5, 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. Keep the palm flex, like you're giving a big, big, big high five. So give your favorite person a high five in your mind. Good. Hold, hold, hold for 10, 9, 8. Allow the tension to build in the shoulders. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the arms out, 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 out. Turn the palms down again, and then really rotate the upper arm bone out of the shoulder to turn the palms up. That's it. And then reach the arms all the way up. Whew. Hands go to the heart for that little bit of work in the shoulders, a little bit of faith. Good. And then just shake, shake, shake out the wrists for a moment. Good. Come back to your plank pose. Stack the shoulders on top of the wrists and then really lengthen and straighten the legs nice and long back. So again, don't guess where the hands should be. Really measure up well. Turn the middle fingers together to touch. You can also come to table pose if that feels better for you. Good. Press the hands down. Lengthen your head forward, but keep the heels, everybody, pressing back. And then start to lift your hips up and back for Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. We're going to move through that 5 times dynamically. On an inhale, come forward for plank. Use your gaze. Take your gaze forward about 6 to 12 inches, but press your heels back. And then lift your hips straight up and back, downward facing dog. That's it. 4 more like that. You can do this in table pose as well. Hips up and back, down dog. 3 more. Inhale, forward for plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last 2. Inhale, forward for plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's it. 1 more. Inhale, forward for plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's it. Come back to your plank pose for a breath. Press the hands down. Really press, press, press. Start to hover just your right foot up and off the mat. You can do this with your left knee down, everybody, if you needed to come into table pose. Draw your right knee into your navel. So you can really wrap the outer hip in, but lift your right knee forward, like you're drawing it forward, almost a step that you're not going to step. And then use your left heel as an anchor to press back. Step your right foot back to plank. Hug your left knee in. First one slow. Really draw that left knee into the navel. Imagine you're pressing your left knee forward, but press your right heel back, everybody. That's it. Step back to plank. We're going to move dynamically. Inhale, right knee in. Step into plank. Exhale, left knee in. Step into plank. Right knee in and back. Left knee in and back for 3. Right, back, left, back. 2, right, back, left, back. Last full set. Right, back, left, back. Hold your plank. Press your hands down. That's it. Have a little bit of faith in yourself. Keep pressing the heels back, but reach your head forward, everybody. That's it. Can you wrap the upper arm bones in to straighten your arms? Draw the front of the navel in and up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, child's pose. Knees down, hips to heels. Take your hands this time to your heels to let go of the stretch in the arms and the shoulders. That's it. Full breath in. Open your mouth. Exhale, breath out. That's it. When you're ready, come back to your downward facing dog. Press your hands down evenly well, tuck your toes, lift your hips, that's it. Good. You want to measure plank again, measure plank. Lift your right leg straight up towards the sky. And then hug your right knee in, come back to that knee march, knee into the navel. Keep pressing your right knee forward, but press your left heel back. Anchor your left heel back, everybody. That's it. And then so you can really find your center again. Look forward about 6 to 12 inches. And then take your right foot to the outside of your right hand at an angle. Right heel in, right toes out. Almost like you're coming on a clock face. Your right foot steps to about 2 o'clock on a clock face. And then from here, drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. But keep the arms and elbows, just for this first breath, nice and straight. And then take your right hand to your right knee. Right hand to your right knee. So you're really plugging your right hand in. That's it. And then from here, really stack your left shoulder on top of your left wrist. And then so you can start to turn a little bit more towards the right, using your right shoulder to draw back. Find the tip of your left shoulder blade. Turn the tip of your left shoulder blade to your right collarbone. That's it. And then start to, if it feels comfortable for you today, you can reach the right hand back. Right hand back. Can you look at your right hand with your left eye by looking back? Keep plugging your left foot in and back. Really feel your anchor. Reach your head forward to start to find a little bit more of your direction, your sail, your compass. And then put yourself in the center. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale as you let the breath out. One more, full breath in. Exhale, full breath out. Take your right hand down again to the center of the mat. And then just take your right foot back. Step back to plank pose. Right foot and left foot meet. Take a full breath, inhale, hold your plank. If you want a vinyasa, feel free to vinyasa here. I'm just gonna hold my plank. Then feel free to lower your knees down or keep them lifted, chaturanga, baby cobra or up dog. And then make your way back, downward facing dog. When you come back, lift your left leg up and back. Hug your left knee into your navel again. Take a breath here and pause. Try to resist the urge as best as you can to anticipate what's coming. Really meet yourself in your current circumstance. Keep drawing the left knee forward, but use your right heel. Really turn your brain on to press your right heel back. That's it. And then press and step your left foot to the outside of the left hand. Good. Angle your foot more towards 10 o'clock on a clock. Heel in, big toe out, and then drop your right knee down. Untuck your right toes. Really plug that right foot back. That's it. Pick up your left hand. Take your left hand right on top of your left knee. So there's no pressure. It's just like a gentle catching of a ball into a glove. And then really start to turn towards the left from here. That's it. Plug your right shoulder in directly over your right wrist. And then only if it feels comfortable for you in the shoulder today, maybe start to reach the left hand back. Find the tip of your right shoulder blade. Turn the tip of your right shoulder blade to your left collarbone. Really feeling your sternum turning yourself in the middle. So put yourself in the middle again of your circumstance. Find your circumference. Find your ability to mediate between our feelings and how we start to move, how we step out into the world. Look back at your left hand, but use your right eye to look back. That's it. Stay for one more breath. Take your left hand down, back again to the inside of the foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. That's it. Step both feet back to plank pose. And then your choice again. You can stay holding a plank, lower down chaturanga, inhale to your back bend. Exhale, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Look at your feet, walk your hands, everybody, to the back of the mat, but try to avoid wagging the hips side to side. Control and firm the outer thighs in, giving your inner thighs a little bit of a squeeze to really control the abdominals. And then bend the knees. Bend the knees at the back of the mat. Make two fists. Slide your two fists to the inner arch of your feet to measure the hip distance of the inner arches of the feet. Bend your knees a lot. Try to get your chest on top of your thighs, and then wrap your arms around your legs, and clasp your hands behind the back of your calves, behind your legs. Soften your head, soften your neck, and your gaze down. And then only if it feels comfortable for you in the body, maybe start to press your feet down. Look at your feet again, use your imagination. Press your feet down. Start to notice your heel and your ball of the foot. Just find the center of your feet. And then connect your big toe to the outer arch of your foot. Your pinky toe edge to the inner arch of your foot. Find the center of your foot as you press down. And then start to notice the tops of your thighs. Keeping your arms bound, maybe start to straighten your knees by lifting the tops of your thighs up to your hip point. Really try to see if you're bending at your hip and you're not bending at your back. Really turn the attention and awareness to your pelvis. That's it. And then soften your torso down, relaxing through the sides of your neck. Back of the head is nice and long. Take one more deep, full breath. Inhale. And then slowly bend your knees. Look forward about 6 to 12 inches. Slide your hands in front of you. Shift the weight into your heels. I want you to really kind of be dramatic about this. So shift the weight into your heels. So lift the balls of your feet and toes up. And then slide your hands. Padahastasana just means pada, hand to foot pose. Slide your hands underneath your feet. Try to get your toes on top of your wrist creases if you can. Bend your knees again a lot. Bend a little bit more than you think you should, and then split your elbows out wide into the side. Soften your head, soften your neck all the way down. But keep pressing your heels down. Notice if you have the tendency to really lean back. This is kind of how we show up for ourselves in our lives. So do you have the tendency to lean back? Or do you have the tendency to kind of jump the gun, leaning forward into the balls of your feet, taking risks? Try to meet yourself in the middle of those two things. Again, find your circumstance, find your circumference. So when we lose ourselves, when we let go of sort of our expectation, or we have that anxiety about being uncertain with ourselves, with our life, with our path, our habits start to come in. Where can you meet yourself in the middle of those? And then slowly release both hands. Bend your knees a lot. Tuck your chin in. Roll all the way up to standing. Head and neck come up last. Really good. Roll your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, release them down the back. Good. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And I want you to have faith in yourself. Have faith in your path. Slowly walk to the top of your mat with your eyes closed. And you might smile as you do this. And that's that faith in yourself, trusting the invisible path. And then open your eyes. See if you arrived. Remind yourself you've got this. Tadasana, press your feet down. Turn your upper arm bone up the shoulder to send your palms forward. Press your feet down. Connect your big toe, pinky toe in the center of your heel. And then start to lift up through the fronts of your legs. Really turn your legs on. Moving into Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Good. For today, exhale, send your hands away from you. Hinge from the hips. Bend your knees as you fold. Fold all the way down. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Look forward about 6 to 12 inches. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, step your right foot and your left foot back to plank pose, everybody. And then again, option to hold your plank or lower through a vinyasa. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Use your legs. Press your feet back. Lift your chest forward and up for your back bend. That's it. Press your hips back to downward facing dog. And then 3 breaths. Find your downward facing dog. Press your hands down evenly and well. And then use that visualization of really connecting the parts of your body to find your center. So start to connect your right hip point. Use your imagination to find your right hip point connected to your left collarbone to open up your left armpit. And then use your imagination to find your left hip point to connect it to your right collarbone, opening up your right armpit. Finding an X marks the spot in the center of your torso, that square, that measurement. Lift your heels up, bend your knees, look forward towards your thumbs. Step, hop, or walk. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Look forward. Again, notice if you're shifting into your heels or into your balls of your feet. Find the center of your feet. Bend your knees, hold. Inhale, rise to stand. Come all the way up. That's it. Hands together at your heart. Tadasana, hands at the hips. One more round. Start your A. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Good. Turn your palms away from you. Hinge from the hips. Forward bend at the hip. Fold into yourself. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Look forward and out. Exhale, plant your hands. Let's turn left foot back. Right foot back to plank. Hold your plank. You can always do table pose. Lower down chaturanga. Elbows bent to 90. Keep the gaze forward. Lift up into your center. Straighten your legs. Point your toes back. Baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths again, everybody. Stay, stay, stay. 3 breaths. I'm going to come and look at everybody's practice. Again, use just your own intuition. Start to notice what feels best in your body. That's it. Really good work. Good. Beautiful, Dawn. Beautiful, Nancy. Take a full breath. Inhale. Open, open, exhale. Let it out. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Choose your path. Step, hop, or jump. That's it. Hands to shins. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Let it out. Good. Feel your feet root and then rise up. Feel the effort, and then lift up to find grace. Feel yourself in the center. Hands together at the heart. That's it. Relax your hands next to your hips for Tadasana. Good. Grab a block if you have a block. Good. And I know we're all kind of at different angles, but we're going to step to the widest part of your mat. Have your block just nice and handy. So turn to an edge of your mat. We're going to move into standing sequence. Turn to the edge of your mat so your left foot is facing forward. Your left foot is facing forward as best as you can. Good. Turn to the widest part of your mat. And then just for a moment, really start to notice if you can take your hands out wide into the side. Notice if you can draw an imaginary line for your right wrist to your ankle. Noticing if you can step your feet a little bit wider to draw that line. Good. And then from here, just draw your hands into your hips. Start to take your right big toe, turn your right big toe towards the front of your mat. And then bend your left knee. Bend your left knee. Good. Turn your inner thigh to your outer thigh. Turn your toes forward. Come into warrior 2 stance, but we're not going to do warrior 2. So start by pressing into your left heel. Really use that to draw a connection from your left knee to your right heel. And there's a slight inner rotation from the inner left thigh to the outer left pinky toe edge of the foot. And then really straighten through your back leg. Straighten your back knee. Good. Take your left forearm to your left thigh. Utthita Parshva Konasana. Reach your right arm straight back. Use the tip of your left shoulder blade to turn your right collarbone open. The tip of your left shoulder blade to turn your right collarbone open. Really feeling your center at your chest. And then look back at your back hands. Send your palm down if you're not there already. And then turn your upper arm bone out of the shoulder to turn your shoulder up. That's it. Good. Send your hands straight up over your ear. So if this feels okay for you, stay. If you want to move into the full variation, we're going to keep the arms straight. You can take a block underneath your left hand. I want you to really make a connection from your left thigh, left inner thigh, to the top of your left shoulder, or the inner part of your left shoulder if you can't quite reach the ground. Reach your hands straight away from everybody, but turn your legs on. Really press back through the outer edge of your right heel, but keep feeling that inner part of your left hip starting to lift up. Good. Are you pressing through the front foot to find that 90-degree angle in the body? Good. And then keep turning left shoulder blade to right collarbone. Look up at your hand, but use your left eye to look up. So you're really seeing all the way around your circumference. You're not just looking up with your right eye, but you're looking around yourself, maybe even seeing something behind you. That's it. Stay for one more breath. Press your feet down. Keep the block just where it is. Come all the way back up. Good. Hands to the hips. Take your block. We're going to switch on the second side. So as you've kind of been practicing with me with these online classes, we move a little bit slower with these online classes because I can't see your practice as well, right? So bear with me. It doesn't mean it's any harder. It just means, or just any easier. It just means it's a little bit more intentional and harder. And then we're going to switch sides. So Utthita Parsva Konasana on the second side. Turn your left toes in, bend your right knee, and then turn your inner thigh to your outer thigh to, again, bend into your right knee. Take the block, if you're going to use it on the second side, to the inside of the foot as best as you can. Good. Right elbow to right thigh. Reach your left hand straight back. Good. Start with the front knee. That right knee bends to 90. Press down into the heel. See if you can really use your inner right thigh to turn a little bit more to the pinky toe edge of the foot. But keep pressing that left heel into the ground. Straighten through your back leg and back knee as best as you can. That's it. Look back at your back hand, your left hand. Turn your upper arm bone out of the shoulder and then send your hand straight up over your ear. That's it. If you want to go deeper, now you touch the hand to the block or to the ground. So as best as you can, really do your best, everybody, to really connect your inner right knee to the upper part of your right tricep. As best as you can, really make contact. Make contact so you feel that space, you feel that boundary, that you're setting yourself up well. Take one more breath and then turn your gaze up, 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 up. Look up at your thumb, but use your right eye to come around. That's it. See your whole circumference, your whole circumstances around. Use your peripheral vision. That's it. Take one more breath in. Use your feet, press your feet down. Come all the way back up. Take your block just off to the side. That's it. Good. And then hands to your hips. Straighten your legs as fast as you can. That's it. Prasarita Pradipannasana A. Step your feet in just a little bit slightly, and then turn your big toes in. Your heels will be out. Look down at your feet. Really see if your heel is directly behind the center of your big toes or your second toe. So you can really find that center point in the feet. Press your feet down, but lift your thighs up. Good. And then really hinge again from the waist. Notice if you have the tendency to round at the back of this. Keep your torso nice and long. Hinge from the hips. You can put a big bend into the knees, especially if the hamstrings feel snug today. But keep your hands on your hips. Pull your elbows up towards the ceiling. And then really drop your torso down. Notice that you lost the connection with the feet. Big toe, outer heel. Pinky toe, inner heel. X marks the spot on the center of your feet. Lift your thighs up towards your hip points and then soften through the back of your head, the back of your neck. Good. Stay for one more full breath. Inhale. Bend your knees a lot. Chest towards the thighs. Look out 6 to 12 inches towards the front. And then roll all the way back up to standing. That's it. From here, step your feet out a little bit. We're going to do Utthita Parsva Konasana to Trikonasana. We're going to add a little bit more movement now. Good. One more time. Turn your right toes in. We're going to turn to face the back towards the front. And then left knee bends. Lift your left heel. Turn your inner thigh to your outer thigh to send your toes forward. That's it. Left elbow to left thigh. Reach your right arm straight up for Utthita Parsva Konasana. This time you can have the option of keeping that right hand up, or you can reach the hand back again. This time, turn your upper arm bone in to turn your palm away from you, and then bend the elbow. Maybe start to make a half bind. Right arm can come around the back, right hand to the top of that left thigh, but only if it feels supported in the body. And then if you want to go deeper, left hand can again touch down towards the ground. Use a block if you can't touch, everybody. That's it. And I want you to really plug your left hand down. Notice where you lose contact in your left hand. Is it the pinky edge of the hand? That's where we feel, that's where our hand starts to connect a little bit closer towards our heart. Or is it your thumb? Is it that place where we start to go out into the world? Press down through the center of the palm to really feel that evenness through the whole hand. And then without losing any contact with the arm or the leg, straighten your left leg. Push into your big toe mound. Firm your outer left hip in to straighten your leg for triangle pose. Utthita Parsva Konasana. Good. take your right hand in front of your right hip, in front of your right hip. Good, I want you to actually turn your right frontal hip point in and down, in and down. So there's a slight action of turning the pelvis in and down, but use again your big toe mound to press down to lift your left thigh up for triangle pose. Good, and then now again, free that left hand all the way up. Straighten your arms. So much more action, right? Press your left heel down and in, press your right heel back. Good, stay for one more breath. Can you look up at your thumb, but again, turn your left eye up. Take one more breath, inhale. Press your feet down. You can take the block with you for the second side. Come all the way up. Good. One more round, Utthita Parshva Konasana. Take your left foot, turn your left foot in. Good, bend your right knee, lift your right heel, turn your right hip in to turn your right knee out. Good, so Utthita Parshva Konasana again on this first side. Block against the inner part of the right foot. Bend your right knee, find that 90-degree angle. Good, start with your right forearm to your right thigh. And then again, reach your left hand straight up. You can start with that first variation. This is a little bit more gentle. Or if you want to wrap the arm around with a half bind, take your left hand back. Turn your shoulder in, and then start to send your hand around. Maybe the hand comes to the top of that right thigh. That's it. Lengthen through all four sides of your torso. Good. Keep pressing into your heel. Notice again where you can find a little bit more. Maybe now you touch the hand to the block. Keep the inner thigh connected to that upper tricep again. But keep the back leg straight, back knee straight as best as you can. That's it, everybody. Good. Stay, stay, stay. Or if you want, we're going to start to transition again into our triangle pose. Straighten your front leg, push into your right big toe. Firm your outer right hip in. Really find that connection to your feet to begin to straighten through the back of your knee. That's it. And then if you want, free the arms away from one another. Notice how much more space you've created in the body. And then let's work with the pelvis again. Left hand to the top of the left hip. Left hand to the top of the left hip. Turn your left hip in and down just slightly. That's it. So you're really asking that right hip to keep drawing back, right buttock bone back towards the left heel. And then now reach the hands away. So as you do this, you're creating more space into the pelvis, more of a fold into your hip. That's it. And then look up at your thumb, but get around yourself. Take one more breath, inhale. As you exhale, push your feet down, rise all the way back up. Feel free to leave the block or take it off to the side. And then take your hands to your hips. Good. Step your feet together. Really good work, everybody. And then step to the top of your mat. Good. Roll your shoulders up. Release them down the back. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Good. Turn your palms away from you. Press your palms down. Hinge of the hips. Fold all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands to shins. Breathe in. If you want to step or hop back through chaturanga, feel free to do so. Step, hop, jump. Flow or no flow. Lift your chest up. Good. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. If you need a break, take a break if you need it. Lift your right leg straight up and back. Draw your right knee into your navel. Good. Really shoot your right knee forward, but press your left heel back. Find that anchor. Gazes out 6 to 12 inches towards the front. Hold for one more breath. Really draw your inner part of your thigh up, and then step your right heel to 2 o'clock. Heel in, toes out nice and wide. Good. And then again, drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Take your right hand again to the top of your right knee. Right hand to the top of your right knee. Take your left hand on a clock like it's coming over towards 10 o'clock. So you're really starting to find yourself in your space here. You're finding dawn at your right hand. You're coming around your back to find noon. And then you're finding a little bit of dusk at 10 o'clock with your left hand. And then lengthen your sternum forward to come around yourself completely, like you're coming around a full clock, coming around through time. And then start to turn towards 2 o'clock. Turn towards your right knee. Draw your tip of your left shoulder blade around to your right collarbone. So you're really starting to come all the way around yourself. That's it. If you want to add a little bit more, bend your left knee. Reach your right hand back. Grab a hold of your ankle, everybody. So try not to grab the top of your foot, grab your ankle. And if that's not accessible for you today, really start to just kick the heel in towards the bum. Good, flex your back foot back. Your left foot will flex back. Good, I want you to keep that left hand as best as you can tented. So try not to flatten it, tent the fingertips. Like you have a baseball underneath your fingertips. Yeah, that made it really hard, right? Good, and then turn, again, your left tip of your left shoulder blade to your right collarbone. Really feel yourself turning like you're turning around a spit. Get all the way around yourself. Can you look back at your foot, but use your left eye to get all the way around yourself. So really seeing all the way around yourself to see our full circumference. Take one more full deep breath. Inhale. And then slowly, try not to slingshot the back foot. Slowly set it down. Take your right hand right underneath your right shoulder. Walk your right foot in. Try as best as you can, everybody, to get your right foot parallel, the pinky edge of your right foot parallel, almost like it's pinky edge parallel to your right hand. And then from here, tuck your left toes in. Press your left heel back. Really anchor your left heel back, but keep reaching your right knee forward. That's it. So put an anchor in your left heel, but almost like you're sailing, sail your left knee forward and then add a little bit of breath to give yourself a little bit of space and wind to see where you're going. Take one more deep, full breath, inhale, and then slowly begin to take your left hand down. Take your left hand to your left middle finger and right middle finger are connected. And then from here, we're going to start to turn our right foot back, plank pose. We're going to come into side plank, turn on your outer edge of your right foot, balance on your right arm. If you need to come onto your right forearm, come onto your right forearm. You can also drop your knee all the way down, coming into a modified side plank, Vashisthasana. Good, reach your left hand up. Feel a little bit of that triangle pose. Reach your hands away from each other. Take one more breath in. Reach your left hand up and over your ear. And then look down, come back to your plank pose. Your plank pose. Good, lift your heels up, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look back at your feet, walk your hands again to the back of the mat. To the back of the mat. Good, bend your knees a lot. Make two fists with your hands, measure out hip distance in your inner arches of your feet. And then slide your hands around. Take your hands around your back of your calves. Hook your hands together as best as you can. Bend your knees a lot to put your chest on your thighs. Look out in front of you. And again, shift your weight into your heels. Notice what it feels to be heavy in your past. And then shift your weight into the balls of your feet. What does it feel like to be in your future? And then find yourself in the center. Push your feet down evenly and well. Slowly release your hands. Inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift. Look forward, look out. And then exhale, bend your knees a lot. Fold. Good. Look at the top of the mat. Walk your hands back out to down dog. Measure your down dog if you need to. Come into a quick plank and then hips up and back, down dog. Left side, lift your left leg up and back. Hug your left knee in. Pause. Really draw your left knee forward, like you're pressing your left knee forward towards the top of the mat. But use your right heel to press back. Really get that leg straight. Keep drawing your inner left leg in and up. And then step your left foot to 10 o'clock. Heel in, toes out. Drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. That's it. Take your left hand to your left knee. Good. So if you need more space, you can always come a little bit more on the outer edge of the foot as well. And then really rotate, open towards 10 o'clock. Open towards the left. Turn your right tip of your right shoulder blade to your left collarbone. Find yourself at the center of your spit. And then only if it feels comfortable, reach your left hand back. Bend your back knee, everybody. That's it. Flex your left foot, or your right foot rather. Hands around the ankle. So again, try to avoid as best you can. Hand at the top of the foot or sole of the foot. Really make contact. Hold it. That's it. And then keep turning to open and give yourself more perspective. Keep that anchor of your right hand. Where do you lose contact? Push down through the thumb, through the first part of the first finger, then really find that contact with the outer part of the pinky toe edge of the foot. Keep looking back at your foot, but use your right eye to look all the way around yourself. Really get your full perspective, full peripheral vision. Take one more full breath in. Release the foot. Take your left hand, straighten your left arm, push your left hand down. And then again, wiggle your left foot in. Make contact. So think a little bit of that Utthita Parshva Konasana that we did with the block. Can you roll the inner part of the thigh to the upper part of the upper arm bone on that left side? And then start to tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Good, stay here for a breath. Think side plank, Vashisthasana. Take the same variation you did on the first side. Right heel back, step the left foot back to meet it in a solid plank. This time we're gonna balance on the left arm, turn on the inner arches, or outer arches rather, of the feet, and then start to send your hands away from one another. That's it. So from here, really notice again, take your right hand rather, just like we did in triangle pose, to the top of your right hip. The top of your right hip, yep. And then turn your right hip down just slightly. Oh, right? And now lift that left hip up to make more contact, really make it stronger. Now reach the hands away from you. Good. Hold for 3. For 2, look down with a smile, hands down plank. Hips up and back, down dog. Good. If you want to flow, take a quick flow, and we're going to meet all the way back in downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. So take a breath, take a moment. Good. When you arrive in down dog, lift your heels up, bend your knees. Look forward, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. When you arrive at the top of the mat, that's it. Make 2 fists with your hands. Slide your fists to the inner arches of your feet. Bend your knees a lot. One more time. Hands around the outside of the legs. Hook your hands. If you've been hooking them the same way, switch the hands so it feels a little bit more unnatural. And then look forward, look out. Bend your knees, almost like you're going to sit into a chair, but keep the hands interlaced behind you. That's it. Think your knees go forward, but your butt bones go back. Knees go forward, butt bones going back. And then lift your sternum forward and up. That's it. Slowly straighten your legs. Take your gaze down. Press your feet down evenly well to lift the tops of your thighs up to your hip points. And then soften through all 4 sides of the torso. Back of the neck is long. Good. Release your hands down. Bend your knees. Slide your hands to the front of your shins. Roll all the way up to standing. Good. Interlace your hands behind your back with your low back. Take your hands and clasp them together, but really split your elbows out wide. Take your hands up to about your middle of the back. So make that third hand, that imaginary third hand behind your back, and then see if you can really split your elbows out towards the side. Good. And then from here, start to draw the hands down the back. Maybe the arms straighten. If they don't pull, don't tug. Don't ever pull or tug on your arms. Good. And then from here, bend your knees, forward bend at the hip, fold all the way down, forward fold. Uttanasana, but keep the hands clasped, everybody. That's it. Try not to pull the arms straight. Really protect the shoulders as best as you can. Good. Bend your knees a lot. Now I want you to use that guesswork. That's what we measure so well. So when we cook, we kind of know what, for most of us, hopefully we know what a teaspoon is versus a tablespoon, right? That matters, really, really matters. Bend your knees a lot. Shift the weight just into your right foot. Lift your left heel up. Slowly step your left foot back to a lunge. Good. And then lift your torso. Keep your hands behind you. Whew. Firm your outer right hip in. Reach your arms all the way up. Good. Get your arms aligned with your ears. That's it. Lift your chin up. Really just listen to me if you're looking at the screen, and do your best to really take your nose and your chin to parallel. That's it. Keep the bend in the front knee. Really bend your front knee to 90, but use your left heel to keep pressing back toward the ball of the back foot. That's it. Think your right knee goes forward, but your left heel goes back. Good. Take one more breath in. Set your hands down. Step back to a downward facing dog. Lift your heels up, bend your knees. Look forward, step, hop, or jump. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Slide your hands up the front of your legs. Reach your arms all the way up. Good. Send your hands away from you. And then reach behind your back. Interlace your hands the opposite way. Again, take your hands up your back a little bit more, almost like the middle or center of your back, and then really splay your elbows out wide. So if you have any problems with the shoulder joint, stay a little bit wider, and then hinge at the hips. Bend your knees as you do this. That's it. Fold all the way down. Maybe now the arms start to straighten. Shift the weight into your left foot. Lift your right heel up. It helps to take the gaze forward. Start to pick up your right foot, set it back. Good. Control the movement of the legs. Hug the outer thighs in to lift the chest up, 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 up. Really strong. Good. Reach your arms all the way up. Anjaneyasana. Good. Find a 90-degree bend into your left knee. Knee over heel, but keep pressing your right heel back. Good. Think your right heel goes back, but your left knee goes forward. And then lift your torso up. Again, avoid looking at the screen if you can. Try to get your chin and nose parallel to the ground. One more full breath, inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step back to down dog. Back to down dog. Flow if you want to flow, your choice. Come forward, hop, step, or jump. Good. Good, good, good. Good. We started a little bit late, so I'm going to end just a little bit late. If you need to go, you can go. But feel free to come all the way down, come into seated pose, cross the ankles, sit all the way down, and then straighten your legs as fast as you can. If you have that blanket handy, you can also roll up your mat. Take a blanket behind you. We're just going to come into 2 seated poses before we come to final rest. Come onto your sits bones. Good. Keep your left leg nice and straight, and then put a little bend into your right knee. Put your right foot down. Good. Open Vrikshasana. Take your right arm to the inside of your bent knee, and then turn to the left. Keep turning your right, tip of your right shoulder blade to your left collarbone, and then start to look back. Look back with your right eye. Notice where you've lost contact with your right foot. Are your toes lifted? Are you cheating yourself in any way? But make that contact. Right big toe, outer right heel, left pinky toe, inner heel. Good. Take one more breath. Inhale. Turn back to face forward. Good. And then just drop that right knee open just for a breath. Just for a breath. Sit up nice and tall. Tense your fingertips. Take your right hand to 2, your left hand to 10 o'clock on a clock. Lift your torso up. Find the center. And then start to fold, hinge at the waist. Fold, fold, fold. Good. Think your tailbone, your coccyx goes back to 6. But the crown of your head goes forward towards 12 o'clock. Then open yourself up. Find your circumstances, find your circumference all the way around yourself. And then add the breath to find a little bit of movement in the breath. Make it fluid, make it move. Take one more breath in. Full breath out. Tuck your chin in, come all the way back up. Good. Take your right knee, draw it in, and then straighten through your right leg. Take your left knee, bend your left knee, set your foot on the ground. Good. Sit up nice and tall, and then open twist. Take your left hand to the inside of your left leg. Use your left arm as a boundary. Really make that contact. Inner part of your left knee to upper part of your left arm. Rotate, rotate, open. Keep spinning. Tip of your left shoulder to your right collarbone. Look back, but use your left eye to look back. Then again, notice where you've lost contact. Is your left big toe up? Can you connect it to your outer heel? Is your pinky toe up? Can you connect it to your inner heel? Find that contact with the ground. That's where we plug in. It's like currency running through. Turn back forward. Open your left knee up. Good. Lift your chest up. Take your hands again. Right hand to 2, left hand to 10. Draw your tailbone back towards 6. Lift your sternum forward and up, and then find 12 o'clock as you fold in. Feel yourself as that center point. So when we imagine these little visualizations of a clock around us, we move through time. Time does not move through us. And the seasons remind us of this. We find these patterns throughout nature that remind us of the pattern. Remind us to keep that little bit of faith moving through. Take one more breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Tuck your chin in, come all the way back up. Straighten out through both legs. And then we're gonna take a blanket. If you have a blanket, if not, no worries. Take the blanket. If it's in a square, fold it into a rectangle. Fold it so you're getting a little bit more support for your spine. Take the blanket behind your back and then start to roll all the way down for final rest. Some of you are close to walls or a couch. It feels really nice. We did a lot of leg practice. If you want to put your legs on the edge of a chair or legs on the edge of a couch, feel free to do so. And then notice as you come to the ground, where are you feeling like you need a little bit more support? Maybe your hands touch the torso. Maybe you close the eyes. Take a few breaths to come into final rest. And the reading. The reading is a poem that was written by Emily Dickinson in 1861 called Hope. And she writes this. She imagines that the bird is almost sitting waiting to sit out the worst kind of storm. But with this, she's confident and has faith. And so the poem goes like this. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings a tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest as the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chilliest lands and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity has it asked a crumb of me. Notice where you're really like that bird, observing from our cozy perches today. Maybe finding a little bit of faith, a little bit of hope within. Maybe to share, even in an affirmation, or maybe as you visualize someone that might need hope or faith today. What might that look like or feel like? And take a breath in. Let anything heavy out through the mouth as you sigh it out. And then when you're ready, feel free to stay if you want to stay and linger a little bit. When you're ready, roll onto your right side. Come back up to seated, crossing the legs at the ankles. Come all the way back up. And then for a moment, draw the hands together at the heart, Anjali Mudra, symbol of our gratitude, our hope, our faith, our trust. And then bow the chin to the chest. And close the breath. Take a deep full breath, inhale. Sigh it out as you exhale. And blink the eyes open. Namaste, everybody. It's so nice to be with you all in community. If you want to stay on for a moment and just say hi. Thank you.
Bye, Kat. Happy.
Bye.